Živjo, Ivy here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to share the books that I was reading for the whole 6 months, which books were great that I recommend and which I was not happy about it. Let's get going. So these are the books I was reading in January. Well, this is by far the worst book from January, and it was just a bit confusingly written. I was interested. It had a certain story. It got me, but it also got me lost very easily. This one was not my favorite, but I would like to read a different story about Lilith. If you have any recommendations, please write them down. My favorite one would be The Midnight Library. Though some have mixed feelings about this book, I personally really like it. So this one is a good book that I was reading. Moving on to February. These are the books that I was reading this month. Now the lowest one from those books was this one. Actually, a lot of things, I did talk about it, a lot of things happened in this month that involved a lot of death. And this book did talk about that, kind of. It was still interesting, but I just couldn't get into it. So my favorite book from here would be this one, Untying the Knot. It's all about saving the marriage because they were about to get divorced. Can they save it or not? And I had fun reading this. Please be aware if you are not into spicy, because it gets spicy. And I have to check from this author more, because I really like how the story was written. Starting with March. These are the books that I was reading this month. The best one is this one, The Bone Houses. I love this one. This one was so good. It's a nice fantasy with horror elements in it, and a very strong female character. The one that I didn't hate it, but I don't think it was needed to be written. It starts with us. But I think she wrote this book because the fans were kind of asking from her to get Lily and Atlas together. But if you ask me, I don't think it was necessary to write about it. But it was still okay. But to me, I don't think it was necessary. April. Honestly, in April, I cannot say which book is the worst, because honestly, they were all so good. But of course, my favorite would be Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom. And I actually watched both seasons of Shadow and Bone. And the characters that play these characters is just so, oh my god, I love it. I can't wait for the 3rd season. Even though I know what's going to happen with the crows, I didn't read the book Shadow and Bone, so I guess I'm kind of going blind. But that's okay. I still kind of could put 2 and 2 together what's going on. So it wasn't all that hard to get into the story. I wasn't all that confused. We have May. Now in this month, I did read a lot of books. I did go on 1 week, almost a week vacation, and I guess this is the first book I was reading from this author, and I guess I wasn't used to her style of writing. It wasn't bad, but I guess I kind of need to get into it. I didn't like the male character a lot in this one. And yeah, basically that's it. I just couldn't like the guy, sadly. So this one would be my worst book that I was reading this month. Don't get me wrong, it's not bad. It's just I didn't like him. That's all. The book that I did like, The Seventh Husband of Evelyn Hugo. This was so good. I just couldn't put the book down. It was so good. I see why it's so hyped and loved and everything. It's fantastic. Definitely, I do recommend. Now we have June. So these are the books, and the book that I didn't exactly like. Well, it's not that I didn't like. It's the first book from this duology. It's just the way the main character was written. I like it when you write a strong female character, but the author made her a bit too powerful. Like nobody can do nothing, right? No man. I don't know. I couldn't get into it so much. It was still great. Don't get me wrong. It was still great, but I liked the second book a lot more because so much more was happening there. But this one it was okay. It's just in this month, this one was the lowest ranked. The highest and the one that I like the most in this month is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I did get it from my local library, but I'm actually thinking to get myself a copy if I ever get the feeling like I want to read it again, because I might. It's a wonderful written book. Also, I saw that this author, E. Schwab, is that how you say it? She writes a lot of books, and many people do like, I think it was Vicious, and it actually has more books. Is it duology or is it more? I don't know. I didn't look into it, but I do know that people were like really liking her books, so I also need to check her out. But highly recommend this book. So that's that. That's for 6 months that I was reading the books that I really liked, and the one that I didn't like, or I just couldn't get into it. They're not bad books. We all have different opinions. Some we can get into it or not. The way I look at some people when they're reading the books, I don't get it why you're reading certain books if they are not for you. For example, if you don't like dark romance that writes taboo or super spicy, why are you going into it? I'm open to just about anything. Give me darkness, I'm in. Fantasy, science fiction, I'm into everything. I would like to read more books to find different things. Yeah, there's some books that do have some serious trigger warnings, but I really do like reading different genres. I don't care what other people say that it's garbage or why would you read this? Why would you even write a book like this? So yeah, I kind of don't get it why you are getting into books that are not for you. I mean, it's great that you want to explore, but if you know that you're not going to like dirty talk and the taboo stuff that is going on in there. I go in certain things or in movies that some people will say like hell no. I'm just curious, but I'm not gonna hit the movie for that just because of my curiosity. So yeah, even though you see me rank certain books, which one I liked the most and which I didn't, that's just my taste. Yours could be completely different. You may just absolutely love all of the books, which is great. Yeah, it's actually great to look certain reviews of the book, but don't completely 100% trust them. I think the best way to see if the book is for you is to read it for yourself. So, thank you so much for watching my little video, and I hope to see you next time. Ciao!